We're in Carthage, Missouri at the Boots Court Motel on historic Highway 66. Across the street you can see a bank that was once a drive-in diner. It was designed by the same guy. You can tell that the architecture is the same.
Like it seems to me like he's some sort of soldier. My daughter, when she was like 1 and 2, she would like stare off in a corner and just say, "Hi, Shadow. Hi, Shadow." He lives in the tunnels underneath the Boots. There's a tunnel that runs from the back building all the way to this front building up here, right here in this front. Recently, my daughter's been going in that tunnel. Like, I haven't seen him for a while, but yesterday he really wanted me to know he was around. I was cleaning number 14, and I always take the clean rug for the bathroom and I hang it in the closet on the bar. And so I was in there stripping beds and I heard something in the bathroom. So I go in there and the hand soap is in the sink. And I thought maybe it was just on the edge, no big deal, and it just fell in, right? So I put it back up. I went downstairs to get my new stuff and I came back into 14. The soap was now in the sink standing upright, and the towel, or my rug that was hanging off, was on the floor.
Wow.
And so when I went back downstairs the next time, the door to the tunnel was open, and I know I closed it, you know, and I said to my mom, I was like, he's on the move, he's up and around today. And then the radio just came on out of nowhere in number 14. And then when I moved into number 12, I got finished cleaning number 14. I moved into number 12. The radio was on in number 12. So I was like, this guy must really want to listen to the church, because that's what was on. So anyway, yeah, I mean, every so often I just see some out of the corner of my eye, you know, like a dark figure that he'll come out of the tunnel and then he'll go into where I keep all of our towels and extra sheets and stuff. And it's just this little room that goes around the stairs. But I haven't seen him in any other rooms other than 12 is where he likes to go mostly, because that's where my daughter used to talk to him. And I call it a him because, again, I don't know, it just feels like he's a man, and it feels like he's some sort of soldier.
Yeah.
Because when they had the Battle of Carthage, they used that tunnel as medic. So they had medics down there, so when the soldiers would get injured, they would take them down to the tunnels to be treated. So I think it's a soldier spirit.
So was this here, when was this built?
This front building, this very first was a gas station.
Yeah.
And so right behind you is where the gas pump used to be.
Okay.
On the ground.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
So then, and that was built in 39. And then the first 4 rooms were built later in the year of 39. The next 4 in this front building was, the next 4 through 8 were built in 40. And then the very back building, which sits this way, was built in 41. So these 2 rooms are pretty neat because they actually are adjacent. You can get to either one from the inside. We call this our lock-off because you can get to either. Wrong key, Katie. So all of our rooms are different. They're all different colors, themes. We have 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. And that door at the edge is what goes through to this room. Okay. And that's the little table that I used to sit with my grandma. That mirror in the corner has been in my mom's bedroom since I can remember, since I was a kid.
That is so cute. I think that's so neat. Aren't they pretty? There's a cute room. I love the floors.
Floors are original. The floors are original. The door casings, the window casings, all of the tile in the bathrooms, the floor towel, the shower towels are all original. All the interior doors are original. All the mirrors above the built-ins and the built-ins are original. Arthur Boots both built those into each one of these rooms back here. And another fun fact about the Boots is that when Arthur Boots decided, when he was designing it, he designed the bathroom with the shower head a little bit low. The reason he did that is to accommodate his clients' wives. Because back then, wives didn't wash their hair as often as we wash them today.
That's true.
So the shower heads are set very low. And so we do get comments about how low the shower heads for anybody who's over 5 feet too, you know?
But that makes sense because that's true. They didn't do that.
No, right. So he did that purposely to accommodate, like I said, his clients' wives. And he also did the rounded architecture, which I thought was really cool. That was just kind of Art Deco back then. And another neat fun fact is that this bank right across the street was also built by Arthur Boots. And it was a drive-in and like food place. So, and when they it's converted into so many different things. Now it's a bank. But what I think is neat is they did not change the architecture. So it still has the rounded corners and it still has the 2 dots in the middle. Those used to be painted red for the drive-in. Yeah, so after him and his wife divorced and his wife got to do some settlement, so he bought this place over here, or bought the land, I guess, and built the drive-in right across the street so he could watch or something. I mean, I can only assume.
I think that's really cool.
But yeah, there's so much history. I mean, my mom knows everything there is to know about the Boots, and
You're pretty knowledgeable.
Well, thank you. I try.
So who was who was he? Like he's just a resident and he just built all this, or was he
that's what I think. Yeah. I mean, that's what we think. Because the only living relative we've spoken to of the Boots family were Arthur Boots' grandson. And he's in his 70s now, you know, like he's still living. He's the only one living that's in the Boots family. But he's, you know, so a lot of the information we've gotten from him as, you know, like him remembering being, you know, with his grandpa and stuff here around.
Was he an architect or?
I really don't know. Honestly, I wish I did. I don't know about his profession other than, you know, I do know that his brother owned a motel such as this in St. Clair, Missouri, maybe, or St. Clair, maybe it's in Missouri. It's St. Clair, Kansas or Missouri, I'm not sure. And the reason he decided, let's go ahead and try it out as a motel is because his brother was making a really good living. Arthur Boots decided this was one of the first motels to offer linens and towels. Because back in those days, in the 30s, you had to travel with your linen and towels. And Arthur Boots was one of the first establishments to offer those things to his guests. And then I'll show you another fun thing in here.
Yeah.
Let me close these. So each one of these carports, he built it each one of these carports to, of course, accommodate his guests. But one of the things that he did do is he put these little closets in each one of these carports. And what he used to put inside these closets were things to maintenance your car. Now we have our crap in here. But, so he would house things like belts, hoses, oil for your car, you know, pumps, washer blade, you know, just little things that you might have to maintenance on your travels because, you know, cars weren't that good back then, you know, and they weren't very good at long-term travel the way that is. So he housed things in these, and each one of these carports had one of these, so that while they were here, they could maintenance their cars because it was a gas station before it was a motel.
That's really cool.
So that's what he you know, offered this to his guests. And like I said, he was one of the first motels to start offering linens and towels. Because back in the 30s, when people traveled, they had to travel with bed sheets and towels.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he was one of the first. That's why he was so modern. It was so modern.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
see,
so that,
I learned something.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So that's you know, just a little fun facts.
Love it.
And I can actually show you. We've restored these two. This one, I can actually open this one once you look in it.
Yeah, let me look in again.
So she just finished cleaning it, so we can
Okay.
get all the way in. And this is, like I said, this is the second time Clark Gable stayed here is when he stayed in this one. And it's funny because the article in number 10 reflects when he stayed in this room. And I always wondered, like, why is it in this room? Why is it in number 10? I'm not really sure. Nobody knew he was here the first time because he hid his car in the garage and then came up the steps and, you know, quietly went into his room. The second time he was here, word got out that he was here. And the article will tell you that it just flooded with, the parking lot flooded with people trying to get pictures and autographs and just, you know,
And he
it
just
was
wanted
just,
to be by himself.
and he just wanted to, you know, spend a quiet night, you know, and
Yeah.
isn't really how it went. But I mean, he was very kind. He was very, you know, he accommodated almost everybody, and he, you know, and then he kind of quietly said, "Okay, I'm gonna go to bed now."
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
and went into his room. So. That's okay. That's all right. Let me go grab that.
I've learned quite a bit. It's really interesting, isn't it? You know, really.
It really is. Such a cute little place.
So it's really neat in here because this is the only television that we have on the property. And what's really cool about it, if you guys can get it open, is that it also has a radio and a turntable.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome? It would work, but it needs some sort of like a picture coil or something to make the TV work. But this is the only one we have on the property. And it's the only telephone we have on the property. So this was the original part when he first opened. He just built this part. And this is the original bathroom. The tiling on the floor is original. The tiling on the wall is original, and all the fixtures are original. Another fun fact about that bathroom is you see the difference in the pattern on the floor. There used to be a wall that went right there. The men's bathroom was on this side. The women's bathroom was on the side you're standing. And because back in those days, women didn't go into gas stations and ask the attendant to use the restroom, the access to the women's restroom was on the outside of the door. There was an outline in the wall that'll show you where the door was. And in the pictures that we have up here, he planted a very tall bush, that very top one up there. He planted that very tall bush so that women could discreetly get out of their cars and go into the restroom without having to ask.
Oh.
Because apparently back then, women didn't go potty.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, they were too proper.
Yeah.
That was that, and so they didn't have to ask. This is the original desk that was here when Arthur Boots was here. And then all of the windows are original. We have replaced some of the panes. We actually had to have them custom made because they don't make this kind of window pane anymore.
I can see some of them are original.
Yeah. And then so on this picture, the top picture is the one we have, is the earliest picture that we have. And this was in probably 1940 because the back building had not been built yet. And then in the second picture down is after the back building had already been built. And so the third picture down, it was, by that time it had changed owners. And the owners that had it with that picture put this ugly pitched roof on it. And it just like, when we bought it like that, we held a fundraiser, and we call it the Raise the Roof Party. And we held a fundraiser to help in the cost of removing that pitched roof. And so I actually have t-shirts that says Raise the Roof somewhere. But yeah, so, and we had a lot of generous donations through just people in general. We have a plaque actually on our sign that is the original Boots Court sign. We found so much originals in the basement when we bought the place. I wasn't around. This is what, mom's told me. That sign was in the basement and it was original. We have letters, neon letters in the basement still today that if one would go out, they would have one to replace it with.
Wow.
All of the neon that we have on the building is not, it's original to the time period. It is not the LED lights, it's the gas that flows through it that makes it light up. And so it's not the newer LED lights, it's the gas lights. So we have to have those custom made.
Yeah.
We had also a light up the night when we got all of the neon restored. And so we held another fundraiser for lighting up the night. And it was the first time we lit up all of the neon. This was in 2015. I was here at the time. It was so fun. We had hundreds and hundreds of people here. I mean, hundreds and hundreds. We have people with vintage cars. We have vintage car clubs that come through all the time. We have Corvette clubs, we have Mustang clubs, we have Model Ts that come through. This year, we've been we haven't really had too much. We have a lot of motorcycle groups that come through, vintage motorcycles as well. But I have pictures. What they like to do is they line their cars up, they line their bikes up, and then, literally people will stop on the street and take pictures of all these vintage cars, and I just think that it's so cool. I have other pictures, which is on my phone, I don't have on me. They did a drive-through. So I have all these vintage cars that were just driving through, and just making the whole circle all the way around and then just pulling back out and kept on going. So yeah, we're well known throughout the world. We have this, actually our guest book, this is the one from last year, it'll show you that we have had a guest from probably every continent. Maybe not Antarctica, because, who lives in Antarctica?
Exactly.
But you name it, their countries in there. And what we usually do is we have the American flag that we flag out here, and then we'll put up the flags of the countries of the guests that are staying. So if we have guests from Argentina, we'll put up the Argentina flag. If we have guests from Germany, we'll put up the German flag. So we always, and it's so fun because before they leave, they almost always go take a picture of themselves in front of the line of flags. Because there's been times we've had, like, when I was telling you about them going down into the tunnel, we had 3 different countries. These people don't even speak the same language, but we have a fire pit that we put out, and chairs, we just get some chairs to go around it. And they would just get to know each other. The thing I really love about the Boots is that you can unplug and not be, constantly on a device or on your computer or whatever. And because we don't have TVs. So I just think that it's so fun because, people that wouldn't normally even, say hi to each other, and they're just sitting around talking, and none of them even speak the same language.
We need more of that.
I know. And that's what I think is probably the most fun about it. And, when we're up and running on a normal season, we're usually just packed every night, but like I said.
So unbelievable. I'm just at a traffic light and I look over and I see the legendary Boots Hotel. So I had to pull in. It looked like it was abandoned. I wasn't even sure if it was open, but we ran into the owner's daughter and she's given us a tour of the hotel and the secret tunnels that's underneath this hotel. Let's check it out.
Table set number 11 that I remember sitting at when I was a little teeny girl with grandma. It really
And
is
that's
pretty
so cool
cool.
that you can utilize it and then look at it and remember things like that.
Right.
We're gonna go through there? Let's do it.
Yeah, right here. I'm gonna stand out here with her.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, and we've utilized it several times. When the sirens go off, we're kind of known for tornadoes around here. But yeah, so I have to have a picture. One night we had guests from
Oh, here's a.
Italy, guests from Germany, and guests from Australia.
I got symbols on them, but
And all sirens on. No, our manager that day, he came back there. Everything, it was down. It was up there.
Whoa. It's getting tight. Yeah. Oh my God. Full of spider webs. I'm kind of hunched over. I'm in a squat position. Oh. Yeah, I don't know how much farther I'm gonna be able to go. It's kind of hot in here also. Is anybody down here? Can you knock on something for me? I'm crawling.
It destroyed so many homes and so many businesses. So that whole field just went